Welcome to the Bumper Breakfast Show. It's a Wednesday morning, and usually, the leadership, the presentation, the hosting changes on a Wednesday morning. So Tessie prefers the Wednesdays and Thursdays because she can say anything she wants to say. I just hope Tessie is not going to be on fire this morning. Anyway, welcome to the Bumper Breakfast Show. My name is Tom Adirele, and of course we have with us Tessie. Tessie, when Tessie sits in the middle, I have to fuja. For my job, Good morning, Tessie. How was your night?
Fine. My night was okay. I slept well, and I just had to let something go yesterday, even if it hurt somehow. Though I just had to let go because 2024, I don't go grief for anybody. My name is Teresa Adeyemi. Welcome to the Bumper Breakfast Show.
And we have Rio on the set. Rio,
why are you laughing?
No grief for anybody.
How are you, Rio?
This year. I'm very fine. I'm very good. I think I have a sore throat, but
sorry.
This morning I told someone, I said, person, I think somebody matched my spit.
That's the belief.
It's a myth.
That's the belief. Yeah, it's a myth.
Somebody matched my spit, so my throat is paining me. Alaye, you go and treat malaria. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning, and come on, it's another breakfast. I cannot wait for the gist, topics, and trendy stories that we have, because I really want to talk about it. Somebody's busting my brain in the country at the moment, and it's sweet.
So
I
try to talk about it. They tell me I'm playing the devil's advocate.
I really want to talk about it because it is what Nigerians want to see. So I want to say thank you for listening to us. Anyways, we are still coming back because don't we say Rio
Well, it doesn't really matter.
So I will just wait till the time. My name is Ambassador Robin Emmanuel Oluwafemi, and once again it's a privilege to be on this table with my sweethearts. I call them sweetheart because they torture my mind. So you just stay tuned and then continue to watch. Let's have a breakfast this morning.
I hope we will serve breakfast peacefully. This one that you're telling that someone is your sweetheart, I cannot fight. I cannot fight. Real, I cannot fight.
Don't worry. I know how to share everything.
Because someone is watching.
I don't mean Tessie. I don't mean Tessie. You get it now? I don't mean Tessie. I mean Tom. Period. We have to declare. I need to go explain.
All right, time to serve you breakfast. Today, there's good news, and that's what Ambassador Rio was talking about, and I'm sure everybody already knows. The news has broken. President Tinubu slashes expenditure on domestic foreign travels by 60%. That's leadership by example. So I just take the story very quickly. President Bola Tinubu on Tuesday directed a 60% reduction in his travel expenditure and the number of officials on his entourage to any state within the country and international trips. President Tinubu said the notion of government wastage, the notion of recurrent expenditure being in excess, the notion that government officials will be allowed to conduct their affairs in a way that is different from what we are asking of Nigerian citizens with respect to prudence and cost management, those days are over. The cost-cutting measure, the president said, cuts across his office, the office of the vice president, as well as that of the first lady and the wife of the vice president, respectively. In the new development, the president said, henceforth, only 20 persons will accompany him on any official or foreign trip. President Tinubu pegged the number of officials accompanying the vice president as well as wife of the president on official trips abroad to only 5 persons respectively. The president approved that only 25 persons for his office, 15 for the vice president, and 10 for the office of the first lady on official trips to any state within the country. Giving further insight into the new measure, presidential spokesman Ajuri explained that the directive is also to trim the massive bills that accrue during the allowances and extra costs to the delegation, including security detail coming from Abuja. He said the massive bills that accrue due to allowances and extra code for security details coming from Abuja going and traveling into those states will be massively cut due to the directive of the president. He explained that the security outfits within states, whether it be police, DSS, or branches of the military, will frontline his protective detail when he travels to those states, a major cost-cutting initiative that will affect the office of the Vice President as well as the office of the First Lady. Ngele also revealed that any international travels limits have been placed on all ministers of the Federation. Additionally, when any international travel is being approved, the following limits have been placed on all ministers of the Federation. 4 members of their staff, appointees, and the like will be allowed to travel with the minister on official trips. For heads of agencies that will be limited to 2 members of staff allowed to travel on official trips. Furthermore, the numbers that the president has now approved for official trips with him will apply to his principal staff are as follows. On international trips, the president has directed that not more than 20 individuals will be allowed to travel with him. That number will be cut down to 5 in the case of the First Lady. Additionally, the number in the entourage of the official international trips for the Vice President will be cut down to 5. The number that will place as a limit on the wife of the Vice President is also 5. Well, that is the good news that we received this morning. Tinubu has slashed expenditure on domestic and foreign travel by 60%. Tessie, for me, I don't know about you, this is a welcome idea. What's your own take?
I was thinking we were going to listen to Ajuri.
Oh,
Ajuri. Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was played. Can we have the video? Can we have the video, please? Odi.
The video of Ajuri, please. Thank you.
Within states, whether it be police, DSS, or branches of the military, will frontline his protective detail when he travels to those states, a major cost-cutting initiative. That will affect the office of the Vice President as well as the office of the First Lady. Additionally, when any international travel is being approved, the following limits have been placed on all ministers of the Federation. 4 members of their staff, appointees and the like, will be allowed to travel with a minister on an official trip. For heads of agency, that will be limited to 2 members of staff allowed to travel on an official trip. Furthermore, the numbers that the president has now approved for official travel with him that will apply to his principal staff are as follows. On international trips, the president has directed that no more than 20 individuals be allowed to travel with him. That number will be cut down to 5 in the case of the First Lady. 20 for the president, 5 for the First Lady. Additionally, the number in the entourage on official international trips for the Vice President will be cut to 5. The number that will be the number that will be placed as a limit on the wife of the Vice President is also 5. In terms of local trips, the President has approved a new limit of 25 members of staff to accompany him on domestic trips within the country. The office of the First Lady is now limited to 10 staff members to accompany her on official trips within the country. The Vice President will be limited to 15 members of staff on official trips within the country, while his wife will be limited to 10 members of staff on official trips within the country, the same as the First Lady. It is pertinent to note that there is a difference between the number of members of staff allowed to travel with the presiding officials to international trips and those that are allowed to domestic. You will find that the numbers on international trips are less than those allowed on domestic trips. This is because international trips are far more expensive across the board, and the president is determined to bring total sanity and prudence to the management of the Commonwealth of our people. As a result of this, the president has directed that every federal MDA, also including the office of the president itself and the office of the vice president, as well as the offices of the first and second ladies, are affected and bound by this directive of the president. From henceforth, the president is insistent that the notion of government wastage, the notion of recurrent expenditure being in excess, the notion that government officials will be allowed to conduct their affairs in a way that is different from what we are asking of Nigerian citizens with respect to prudence and cost management, those days are over. The president is insistent that the prudence of government officials must reflect the prudence and efficiency of the Nigerian citizens. And this is the directive of the president. With respect to the adherence to this most recent directive of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I believe we do not need to convince the officers of the federal government of Nigeria of the seriousness of the president with respect to how he will implement his directives. If there is anybody who feels that the directive of the president is not binding on them, who feels that the president will not uphold this directive in implementation and seeks to test it, they will do so at their own peril.
Well, you just heard it live. The situation as at hand is that there has been a 60% reduction in expenditure at the top. We have often advocated for this. We've often called for leadership by example. We've often said, we are not satisfied with the way things are being run. If it starts from the top, then people will start to conform. People will start to fall in line, so to speak. And yes, something is being done. I am truly happy. And when things are done properly, we will of course commend such efforts. So yes, kudos to our very great president. He's doing well. That's a step in the right direction for me. But let me listen to the analysts on the table. We have two very hot analysts on the table this morning. Tessie, let's hear it from you first. What's your take? There's no need to play the devil's advocate today. We all just want to just do the right thing. Say it as it is.
So I'll say a very big thank you for giving me the privilege to talk about this. You see, it's a welcome development. It's good that at least the president slashes entourage for foreign local trips by 60%, and they said foreign trips president 20%, local trips president 25%, foreign trips vice president 5%, local trip vice president 15%, foreign trips first lady 5%, local trips first lady 10%. It's a welcome development. At least this tells that. This tells us all that the president listens to the news. He watches the news. He has seen people have been clamoring that this is too much, especially when they went for the COP, the COP that in Dubai that they went for of recent. But you see, I know whatever we want to achieve in life, it all starts with a step. But there are still a lot of things that the president will still have to cut off. Not just this foreign trip and everything, though we appreciate it. And when I read comments, people are saying this is scam, It's just like giving us something so that we can all keep quiet and appreciate them. But one thing I just want to tell Nigerians is that when are we going to appreciate what our leader is doing? You know, I said it on this table. I said I'm hopeful because I know this president will listen. Even if he doesn't listen, he's subordinate, people surrounding him. Because when the leader fails, check the people surrounding him. He's surrounded with who by who. But when a leader makes a landmark, in the society, in the people he's leading or whatever, I'm telling you, check the people surrounding him. I think the people surrounding the president listen as well. This is a welcome development, at least all this borrowing. And one thing I still want the president to stop is borrowing. Let's use what we have. Even they say what is coming in is little to what is going out. But with what is coming in, we can still manage what we have. The president still needs to cut a lot of things. He would have come out and say this SUVs they wanted to buy that is still causing uproar in the society, in the country. He would have stopped it and cut it to 140 something to maybe 40 something million naira SUVs. Is it a must that they use tear rubber? We don't have the money for tear rubber, that we can go for Tokumbo. And I'm sure Tokumbo is not illegal. It's not illegal in the country. You can't drive a Tokumbo car and someone will stop you and ask you why you're driving a Tokumbo car. You know, it's a good one. I appreciate it, but the president still needs to do more. He still needs to keep doing more because this is just like a drop in the ocean. I'm telling you, he has a lot of things to cut off. And people that are seeing this as scam, at least let's encourage him and let's see, maybe we'll do more. And let's advise instead of discouraging, instead of cursing. Let's learn to advise, because when we talk, you know, I do say there is strength, there is power in one voice, but people do not know. But the day the people, the citizenry will know that there is power in one voice, I'm telling you, we will go a long way. And we will collect our country back from robbers who will believe they are the one handling the country. It's a good one, but the president still needs to cut a lot of things. He needs to go into all sectors, all segments. Like someone was talking about the humanitarian sector, that it should be cut off, it should be stopped. But I'm not saying it should be stopped, because I know when you create an office, then that means there's an opportunity for people to get jobs. You understand? For any office that has stopped, that has been closed down, take it or leave it, some people will be affected, because they are going to lose their jobs that moment. And when people lose their jobs, it's not easy, because they start having crazy thoughts in their mind. Reason we keep having more criminals in the society. Instead of we having less criminals, I'm telling you, we keep having more criminals. Kudos to the president, but I hope to see more in few months. I hope to see more.
Tessie hopes to see more action.
A lot of things still need to be stopped.
Before Rio analyzes this whole thing, let me quickly say that Tessie made a very valid point. Now, if the people around the president do not help the president succeed, then it's going to affect them as well. Let's take, for example, certain ministers in the Buhari administration that have been called, for interrogation quite recently. Don't forget that the headlines were Buhari's ministers. That's the way it will come, because